All right, guys, we don't come again today. How now, day, my people? We are still talking about the state of the nation, what is affecting you and I. Now, Oshiomhole, now go Arise TV. Again, twice or three times now in 1 week. You know, this man is going from one platform to another. He went to channels the other day. Now he's on Arise and all that. When they are doing this, you should know there is something they are trying to defend. You know, so that the gullible Nigerians, you know, their brain can be reset. But not people like me. Probably not people like you. Oshiomhole now, they don't ask him the insecurity that is eating Nigeria up right now. A lot of our soldiers have been bite. A lot of them have lost their lives and all that. A lot of their families are in pains because of Boko Haram. They also ask Oshiomhole the state of the nation in terms of hunger. When I see the way Oshiomhole, I know say normally Oshiomhole have a way, these tactics where they use to waste time. You understand? Instead of him to embrace dialogue, Oshiomhole would prefer to sit jagada for his side monologue. He go, they talk. He go forget, say, na him and person. Now they get conversation together. May not be like say I spill and finish. Make we hear what Oshiomhole want talk concerning what is affecting us right now in Nigeria.
After nearly 2 years in office, as the midterm approaches, there is a tense national debate about how well the Tinubu administration has performed amid brutal economic pain. Mr. Tinubu's supporters say that things are working better at the most fundamental level and across the board. But the opposition insists that many households have been left struggling and the government's relief measures have had little impact. The president's supporters counter by saying he's making significant progress on easing the crisis his administration inherited, even though the previous government belonged to the same APC party.
It is not about whether you have totally solved a problem or the problem is it's gotten worse and worse. What I can say with confidence is that there is improvement. How much improvement there is, how much more we need to do, there's quite much more to do.
Right.
CNN, I watch international cable. When a nation is under attack by criminals, all hands should be on deck, including the media.
Yeah, that's exactly the point.
You're
making that our
but not
point.
to seem to be celebrating
No.
or implies.
Nobody is celebrating
Do you know that
criminality.
families have lost soldiers?
Nobody
Senior military officers, colonel,
No.
majors, captains.
Nobody.
Not to talk of other that have been waiting.
Senator,
when they see us talk like
this
this,
is a dialogue, not a monologue.
No, I understand. But I
well,
don't
you don't
need to
understand.
I don't
If you
want
did,
us,
you wouldn't
I want us to
hugging
encourage
the
our armed
limelight.
forces, even as we have huge challenges, and there's a huge gap between where we are and where we want to be.
Senator, you're making a political statement. That's not what we're doing here. What we're doing is assessing whether things have... Nobody said that things have got as bad as they were a few years ago. But the issue here is, do they appear to be getting worse from where they were perhaps a couple of years ago? And that's the issue. We've seen attacks by Boko Haram and ISWAP on military installations, military camps in several locations in Borno and Yobe states, and in each of these attacks they are reported to have overrun the camp, killed some soldiers and captured others, and then they looted the camps, stealing weapons and food. On top of that, we're also seeing things like roadside bombs being planted randomly on major roads, which have blown up commercial vehicles. And recently, 26 people were killed in one such incident. It's not about comparing what it was before or what it is now. It is about what is happening on the ground today. What do you think are the factors responsible for this resurgence? That's how we're going to have to deal with that. But I'm quite happy to move on from there.
I think we are fixated on recycling the same thing, because there is no suggestion between me and you. I have no suggestion to you that it is over. Because there was a time you forgot that even to take a train from here to
and that is very true. I agree.
You know, I saw Kaduna governor say that you cannot come to Kaduna without such escort.
Indeed.
So if all you want to amplify is the one that is recurring, and you are not going to admit to where progress has been made, I don't belong to that school.
No.
That's why I said life is not about whether you have everything going for you 100% or you have zero.
I think the issue,
the issue for me is, are the armed forces sleeping? The answer is no. Can they do much more? The answer is yes. Has security improved? Yes. Can we do much more? We obviously have to do much more.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's move on.
Because I am unable to keep quiet knowing that people have died for this country.
Right.
Or that whether it's Boko Haram, it's SWAP, it's bandit, whatever you call it.
Yeah, let's move on.
And it's good that we pay respect to their memory.
Yes, of course we do. And it's because of their memory, that's why we're focusing on this, so that those soldiers don't lose their lives and citizens don't lose their lives. So we can't paper over it and say, oh, this is much better. It's not a political comparison. It's about a fact that people are getting killed. Let me move on from that. The questions many are asking, for example, I mean, we're assessing the 2 years of Tinubu in office. One of the things that have been talked about is his policies, the policies that he has put in place, about how those policies are being implemented, and if the average Nigerian is feeling their impact in a positive way, that, you know, or whether those policies have been hurting them. And in terms of the buying power, for example, of many Nigerians, you talked about the Naira and the exchange rate and all the rest of it. If you look at where they were before President Tinubu came to office and where they are now, it's pretty clear that things have got considerably worse, haven't they? Most people are poorer now in terms of their buying power than they were when he came into office. Isn't that true? Maybe you're not poorer, but a lot of other people are poorer.
You don't look poorer either. So you want to
I like that. Now, there's a great comeback, isn't it?
Great, fine. Now, the point is this. I think it is just a repetition for me now, because once nobody disputes the fact that if inflation is in double digit, an economy is under double-digit inflation consistently, and wages and income are stagnating, or even where they increase, they have no increase proportionate to the rate of inflation. The story is clear. People are hurting. So it's not something that needs to be overflogged. Now, the issue is, was there a better way to manage a patient that was under critical condition, you know, that has a cancerous tumor, that you could choose to wish it away because the patients appear to be able to walk until the thing spread to grade 4, in which case it's about when will he die, not whether he will die, or you find the courage to carry out a surgery, knowing fully well that in opening up the patient and try to cut out the tumor, that will require that even in the first instance, you put the patient to sleep. And when he recovers, that he will have to be willed to a rest place to recover. That recovery implies that he will experience some pain. You will continue to apply 2 categories of medication, both pain relief as well as the retreatment.
But that person must have the hope that
as a surgeon, you derive satisfaction from the fact that you are confident that once this tumor is taken out and is cured, that the patient will find his feet and he can return to Olympic Games if he has skill for that in the first instance. But there's no suggestion that when you, except if you belong to those who think that the state of affairs by 2023 May, that Nigeria was a paradise, everything was fine.
Well, I mean, it's your party, the APC.
Forget about the party now. You say we shouldn't talk politics. I think sometimes you want to eat your cake and have it. On the one hand, you remind me we are not talking politics, although you have to define what politics is.
Well, I mean,
on the other hand, when I reply you say that is political. You are the one talking about cost of living, and I'm talking about cost of living.
Yeah.
I'm saying, if we were to play back my interview with you on Arise before that election that brought Tinubu, you were crying loud that the government has failed. The economic policies are completely hopeless. Unemployment, Nigeria has become the capital of the
poverty capital of the world.
The poverty capital of the world. You roll out statistics, whether they are backed up with evidence or not, that's what and so forth. This I watched from Arise TV, as well as other sources. That's why I ask you, if you are of the view that this way otherwise very good, it's only Tinubu that has come and messed it up, it's okay. That is not the view of many other people.
Well,
Tinubu came in as a surgeon who had to deal with a patient that was ailing critically. And because we shouldn't talk of politics, we don't need to pursue the argument further. Whatever makes the patient find himself in that condition, that is the condition under which this surgeon came in to carry out what obviously is a painful surgery. And the doctor knows from the beginning that there will be consequences in the short run.
Yeah, but if
I will repeat what I said. Now, I go home, I don't know how often you go home, but I am obliged to go home to my village and to talk to other people. I have lived there, my mother lives there. And I found, like most people like you and I do, during Christmas, you buy some stuff to give to your families. I found that because of a bag of rice in December, it's much lower now than it was 4 months ago in December.
Well, let me get a word in there before we have to end, because I mean, the program obviously, unfortunately, it's great talking with you. But if the price of fuel was at 175 naira in May 2023 per litre.
Leave the argument.
And today, well, you see, you're interrupting me. You don't want me to make the point. And today it is at over 1,000 naira. What kind of pain do you think that has inflicted
you are
on
not
Nigerians
going to eat your cake
in a
and have
country
it.
where the average
You subscribe to free enterprise.
and the economy depend almost entirely on fuel for everything.
Including Arise Television, you all have lectured me, Oshiomhole, to understand that we are wasting money.
Don't forget you were a Labour leader.
I'm telling you now that you forgot.
You were a Labour leader. Remember that.
You see, you want to eat your cake and have it. You were the one lecturing me as a Labour leader.
Do you think your Labour leaders will agree with you now? Do you think your current Labour leaders will agree with you?
You the elite. You pro-market
You say I'm the elite? You're the elite.
No. Pro-market analyst. When we were fighting subsidy, you lectured us that, no. I said, if you withdraw subsidy, this will happen. But you guys said, no, you need to withdraw it. All the candidates, whether it's Tinubu, whether it's Obi, whether it's Atiku, they all said they will withdraw the subsidy.
Yeah, but there needed to be cushioning of that removal of subsidy, and it wasn't there.
You even said NNPC. So don't bring that. That's why I said don't go there. Because that one, there was unanimity. And people like us who have been fighting over the years, we were seen as, so now the elite, when I say elite, I mean it. Go and review the editorials. Labour, we should allow, this is wasteful. Who are people having cars? Workers have no car. You are just subsidizing the rich. Those were the argument. So in any case, why I said don't go there, Atiku said he will not only withdraw subsidy, he will sell NNPC. Peter Obi said he will withdraw subsidy. Tinubu said he will withdraw subsidy. Therefore, there was consensus among the ruling class that the subsidy will be withdrawn. They ought to know that when you withdraw what is being subsidized, it means you pay market price.
Right.
And so when that market price begins to prevail, it cannot be an argument for you. So it's not something you want to put to me, really.
You're a good person to talk with, and I really enjoyed chatting with you.
I watch you every day too.
And you're a convivial guest, and I appreciate that. I think I love the way that you make your points in a very nice and very sort of civil way. So thank you for that. Senator Adams Oshiomhole, CON, represents Edo North in the Senate, is a former national chairman of the APC, a former governor of Edo State, and a former Labour leader.
I'm not surprised. This is Nigeria Rush Media. Join us every day, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. Let's continue to talk about it as affected you and I. Take care, guys, and bye for now.